Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be doing my America's tier list for the start of stage 1. And let's just get right into it first with Leviatan. This team kind of disappointed me, I'll be honest. I mean, from their roster on paper, they look very, very good. They have 2 world champions, common aspects. They have a great IGL and they have Tex, who is a great up-and-coming player who obviously won Ascension, and they also have Mazzino, who is very, very consistent. They did get rid of one change, that being Nosware. He's now officially off the team. He's now gone to another team, which I'll talk about later. But I maybe had to put them maybe down to A tier, just because from what they were in kickoff and from what they're going to be possibly going to be maybe in stage 1, I thought they were going to be the best team in Americas. I think they're still up there as one of the best teams, but there obviously are 2 teams that are the best team in America, I'll be honest. One of them is not NRG. I mean, they did lose against Sentinels, which did win Madrid and the kickoff. But they still are very, very, very good. I mean, they still have Ethan as the IGL, which I like. They still have Crashies, Victor, Marved. They still have Demon 1. They still have all the players. They still have the core roster, which I like. Shet as the head coach is all good. Tazich Q as the assistant coach is also very good as well. I don't think they are A tier. Let's just move them down to the bottom of S tier, because they they still are a very, very good team. They just need to really get used to it. Well, I should say to each other. And obviously not having finesse as the IGL definitely hurt them. So, but I mean, Ethan is still a great IGL in my opinion. He's still a great caller. But you know, they just need to kind of just work on it. But other than that, I mean, NRG is kind of where I expected them to be, top 3 at least in the Americas. Next up is Sentinels, and obviously the best team in possibly the world. I'm not really too sure. Maybe not in the world, I'll be honest. But they are still very, very good. So, the thing about Sentinels is that obviously they won in Madrid, they won in the America's kickoff, but they have a slight issue coming into stage 1. That being John QT has visa issues. And apparently, I think Curry's going to be playing for them. And if Curry is actually going to be the AGL for this team, and I think what their first match is 100 Thieves, if they lose to them, uh-oh. Oh boy, 100 Thieves, you better drop your entire roster if you lose to an IGL Curry. But either way, Sentinels, they definitely are the best team in America, because they won in kickoff, they won in Madrid. Definitely best team in the world. So Sentinels will stay at the top of S tier, including Loud. Loud will also stay in S tier as well. I think as well, apparently, just like Sentinels, Loud also had, I think, maybe some players which are still have visa issues. And I saw Doc said it on his stream that they haven't actually had time to practice because of visa problems. So I'm also a bit worried now for Loud. Are they going to possibly maybe have to play some players in in Los Angeles while some are in Brazil? I'm not really too sure how that's gonna go, but Team Heretics showed that and they made it to Madrid, so I think they should be alright, I'll be honest. Still S tier as well for Loud. G2 Esports, did I rate them a bit too highly? I'm not too sure, I'll be honest. So the thing about G2 is that they did make a change, that being Net. And I'm sorry, but I do think Net was the weakest link of this team. IC coming in is very interesting. IC, I thought, was maybe one of the last players I expected to actually join G2. I think there are definitely better players in tier 2 that can do Net's job, like Dapper, for example, if they kept Dapper, but apparently not. Just it's a weird team that they have. I don't know how Ice is gonna go. He hasn't played in an actual organization for a while. Like, yes, he was part of EG, but he was just on the starting. He was on the sub. He was on the second roster. So I just don't know what to expect really from G2. I mean, they won against Crew twice. They won against Sentinels in the play-ins, but that didn't really matter because Sentinels just all they needed was one map and they'll be in the playoffs, so that really did not matter. But I mean, they lost against EG. They lost against MIBR, which I'm going to later because MIBR surprised me a lot. I don't know what to do really with you two because the Sentinels win kind of throws me off, but at the same time, Sentinels was not trying for the last 2 maps, and it was just an absolutely just goofy match. But I mean, they won against Crew, which I expected it. I just don't know what to really expect from the scene. Like, I kind of want to move them down. I feel like A tier is still a really good tier for them, but it's so difficult to really judge from the kickoff match because they won against Crew twice. So they lost against MIBR and EG. But then they won against Sentinels, but Sentinels didn't even try for the last 2. I don't know. Like, G2 is such a weird team. Like, they have great players. They have Valorant as the idea, who I think is still pretty decent, but it's like he's kind of struggling this year. They still have Leaf, who is kind of struggling as well. Jonah P is still very consistent, and Trent is fucking Trent. So I just don't know what to really expect from this G2 team. I'll probably maybe put them down a B, maybe at the top of B. But I just don't know because G2 is such a weird team. Another weird team as well is Cloud9. There's so many weird teams, I'll be honest. And this is maybe the weirdest team. So, Whippy and who's the other one that left? Jake. Both of them left the team. And they've added Rooney back in the lineup and Moose. One thing I will say is that I am very excited to see how Moose goes in Tier 1. I think he deserves to be in Tier 1. He's been very consistent. He's always been in Tier 2. He's been always working his ass off. And I'm really happy that he's now back in Tier 1. And I'm also happy for Rooney as well, because Rooney, he was in a very difficult situation last year where I think they tried to replace him in LCQ, which obviously he didn't get replaced in LCQ. So I'm glad that he's back in and gets another second try. I'm really surprised that they kept Vanity, Zep, and Oxy. I think those were maybe the 3 best players. Jake and Whippy, I can understand why they would want him, like, that they cut them. But, I mean, Jake, he was maybe the weakest player, I'll be honest. He did not impress me. Whippy, I thought he was pretty consistent. He was pretty good, but I need to see that V1 magic. Where is that version 1 magic back in, like, 2021? Where is that? Because I can't say it. They also had an assistant coach by the name of Gugly, who I think used to be a coach for Zaire over in the Italian region. But that is a curveball and a half. I still think Cloud9 is maybe a B tier team in my opinion. Are they better than G2? No. Absolutely not. I think they are down B tier. Actually, I'll put G2 up in A tier. I think I've made my decision. Cloud9 B, G2 up in A. 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves. Okay, let's give 100 Thieves the benefit of the doubt as well. They were in the group of death. They were with Leviatan, Sentinels, and Loud, I believe, as well. They were basically in the hardest group in Americas. So they haven't made any changes. Busio is still the IGL. EU, I felt like I was a bit disappointed in him, but this is obviously stage 1 now. This is kind of where it mainly happens. So hopefully he does improve. Asuna as well flexing is interesting. Cryosals as well flexing onto like controllers is interesting. Bang, he's still Bang. He's still very consistent. Zeke's as a head coach is still alright. Mike says as the assistant coach. I'll be honest, I would rather have Mike as the head coach than Zeke's, but I can understand where they're coming from because Zeke's just won a championship with EG, but he wasn't the head coach. I was Potter. But I just, whatever. Either way, I think 100 Thieves are the worst. If we're talking about North American teams, like mainly NA, no Brazilians, no Latam, 100 Thieves are the worst. I mean, they made so much mistakes. Like, holy crap. So much mistakes from this goddamn team, and they deserve to be in B tier. Actually, I just remember EG's also a thing, but I'll get to EG later. Furia is next, and Furia were maybe the most disappointing team in kickoff. So, let's talk about them. So, at least they did make a change, that being Nosware is in, and Liazi is gone. Now, Liazi was very... no, when it was Havoc. Havoc, I think one time was like... I was having a horrendous game, but then he kind of popped off. I think adding Nosware in is actually a massive W for Furia. Because they needed someone in that role of Liazi. I mean, I swear I saw something that Khalil was about to get dropped, but then I don't think he was going to get dropped or something. But I mean, Liazi, who was a rookie basically coming into the season, that's a bit shady there. But either way, having Nosware in, who I think last time where he was in Furia, they were in Champions. They didn't do that much. I think it was 2022 where they had that great game against DRX and Ascent. But, I mean, I didn't really expect much of it from Fury as a whole. But now that he's back in the team, I think this team could be pretty good. I don't really think they're B tier. I think they're probably still in C tier, in my opinion. Evil Geniuses were very surprising. I mean, yes, they won against G2, which for some reason happened. But they lost against Loud. So, I don't know what to really say. I think EG have better players than 100 Thieves in my opinion. Call me a 100 Thieves hater all you fucking want. I mean, Superman, he was a very good asset. Nature as the IGL was very, very good. Aport actually surprised me, I'll be honest, during the kickoff tournament. And Jogmo, he's still Jogmo. Derek, I think he's actually back. The 2022 Derek that clutched up crucial rounds is now back. And that is what EG needed. So, I'm really happy that EG, even though the org is a bit shit, the roster, I'm very happy about that they are now, that they're back now. They struggled. Obviously, they had to blow up their entire roster because of the whole contract ordeals. But now that they have a very solid team to work around, they still have Potter. I think they are definitely better than 100 Thieves in my opinion. But that is just because the 100 Thieves in my opinion are just the worst. I mean, like, if it's about like out of all the North America teams, it's definitely 100 Thieves in my opinion. Next up is Crew, and I still think Crew is the worst team in Americas. However, they did make a change. Heat, who I'm pretty sure got married, recently, so congratulations to him. He is now officially on the team. MTA is gone, which I was a bit skeptical on MTA because I haven't heard of him, but I think I watched like a couple of VODs of him. He's actually pretty good on Duelist, but I don't think they actually used MTA on Duelist. I think he was mainly a flex, or if not a Sentinel. And then having Heat in lineup, then what's really gonna happen? Apparently Klaus might be gone as well. If that's the case, this team's just so weird. But if that does happen, then who's going to be the IGL then? Is it going to be Melser again? Because this is like the 50th time that they've changed IGLs between Melser and Klaus. So, I just don't know. I have no idea what Crew are thinking over there. But, I mean, if it works, I guess. But I'm a bit worried for this team as a whole. They lost against G2 twice, so we have a very narrow... We don't have a lot of sample space to really go off on. But they are the worst team in America, in my opinion. Still D tier. They could actually go up to C tier if they do surprise me with this team of like Klaus, Kesnes, Shy, Melser, and Heat. They can definitely surprise me, and so they could definitely jump up a tier. But I mean, from how they performed in kickoff, I'm not really too sure, I'll be honest. Next up is MIBR. This is the final team that we're gonna be talking about, and MIBR surprised me. They surpassed my expectations as a whole. I mean, Artson especially popped off. Mazen was really good. FRZ has some great moments. RGLM, I'm not surprised he did well. JZ, very, very impressive. This MIBR team as a whole have improved massively from where they were last year. I mean, they made it through play-ins. They lost against Sentinels, but then they won against G2. They won against Cloud9. They won against Furia. Are they the second best team in Brazil? I think so. I generally think they are better than 100 Thieves. I don't think that I'm not only too sure they're better than EG. They could actually be better than EG. They are definitely B tier in my opinion. Maybe they're, I'm not really too sure now. Because they definitely are better than Furia. They are definitely better than Crew. And if they won against Cloud9, they could actually be better than Cloud9, but then obviously they did lose to Cloud9 the first map, but it was very, very close. Look how close it was. But then here, another very close game of Blind and Ascent. So I guess they actually are pretty even there. But I just don't really know because Cloud9, they made some changes. There was a guy ruining and Moose, so they could actually improve. MIBR, they haven't made any changes, but they have a very good roster. They have a good lineup to really work on. So I'll probably maybe say MIBR here. I know it's a bit of a surprise that MIBR is this high, but I rate MIBR very, very highly from where they were last year. In my opinion, last year they were just crap. This year they could surprise some people. They could actually be dark horses in this stage. So now, like, you know, guys, feel free to comment down below on who you think where these teams would be, and if you think I'm incredibly wrong, let me know down in the comments below. And there goes the league or tier list. I'd love to read on it. So, like, you know, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me, especially on this channel. And it's obviously for all the tier lists, but I will be doing another one as well for stage 2, for a sort of stage 2, I should say. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.